In 1964, Mary Poppins convinced us that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. And I think she was probably right. But in 2017, we now know that sugar has a role to play in a lot of those diseases that we take medicines for. If we were to take a really close look at the outside of our cells, we'd see that they're decorated in a wide range of different sugars, all linked together into long chains. But I want to tell you the story about just one of these sugars, and it's called sialic acid. Sialic acid has a property of being negatively charged. So I want you to think back to when we were kids and we used to play with magnets and we'd try to get the two negative ends to touch. And no matter how much we tried, we couldn't make them, right? That's the exact principle that keeps our blood flowing. So our red blood cells have exactly the right amount of sialic acid on their surfaces to gently repel them away from each other. And that keeps our blood flowing smoothly through our veins. But unfortunately, sialic acid also has a role to play in cancer. Very briefly, what is cancer? Cancer cells don't die when they're supposed to die. They divide and they replicate and they form lumps in our tissues that we call tumours. If these tumour cells remain in just one place, these are known as benign. But things become a lot more serious when these tumour cells have the ability to travel through our body. And these are known as malignant cancer cells. One really important difference between a benign and a malignant cancer cell? Our sialic acid. A hallmark of cancer cells is that they have an excess of sialic acid on their surface. So now think back to that example that I gave you of the magnets and just think how much extra repulsion that much sialic acid is going to give. So much so, it's going to help push those cancer cells out of those tumours into the tissues, into the bloodstream, and from there they can travel and they can dock wherever they wish. But now the exciting part. What if we could limit or regulate the amount of sialic acid that was placed on the outside of those cells? Could we stop those cancer cells from travelling? And the answer is yes. And in fact, recent research has shown that that's exactly the case. But how do we do this? I believe the answer lies in the sialic acid transporter. It's the single bottleneck that every sialic acid must pass through in order to be placed on the outside of those cells. As a biochemist, my thesis is based on determining the exact three-dimensional structure of that transporter, right down to the atomic detail. There is no known structure of any of these transporters anywhere in the world, but right now, I'm on the precipice of unlocking its secret. Once that's determined, new drugs can then be designed in our institute to regulate sialic acid. My research may just be the sweet solution to the bitter war on cancer.